There is a shortage of skilled tradespeople throughout the U.S. economy, a persistent problem that started well before the pandemic.
According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, companies are looking for plumbers, for electricians, for carpenters, for auto mechanics, and I'm just naming a few here.
The industry is going to be short of technicians for years into the future.
The U.S. economy is quickly approaching a make-or-break moment.
There are more trade jobs than graduating seniors to fill them.
We're falling short because there is a tremendous demand for folks in the skilled trades area because we haven't been investing in career and technical education, and we don't have the capacity in our system to be able to support the needs of our businesses.
With a current 32-year-old cap, school districts receive aid on the first $30,000 of a CTE instructor's salary. This $30,000 cap was established in 1992, and it has not been increased since that time.
When this legislation was created, we did not have flip phones. We still had dial-up internet. I was in college, and I had to go to the library to access the internet.
30 years is a long time to, again, have a formula in place. So obviously the need 30 years later is for that to be updated based on the salary structures of what we pay our teachers today compared to what teacher salaries were 30 years ago.
I think that we need to be mindful that we're not addressing something for 30 years. We're sending a message that you are not valued, and I know that's not the message that we want to send to our CTE instructors.
You have to have the teachers. These kids get to learn from somebody who's been out in the field, who's had their hands on equipment. And some of these kids start in a trade and are getting taught right. They can be in working, right after high school.
Because of all the knowledge my instructor's given me over the years and all the hands-on learning that we do, I've been able to get right to work in my internship, and I will have a full-time job after high school.
Internships have become a priority. I've seen over the past few years, pretty much every kid that's been on an internship gets hired by the internship site.
With the growth of our internship program and the work of our coordinators, this has become an integral part of directly feeding workforce. We know that the lower reimbursement rate for CTE teacher salaries prevents districts from being able to send more students, and that when that cost that's aidable is increased, that gives districts more flexibility in sending their students to our programs.
As school districts, we're advocating for an increase for the CTE salary aid to become more in line with what the current CTE salaries are, which on average across New York State is $65,000.
If school districts could be aided at a higher rate for the CTE teacher salary, we could provide more opportunities for students to participate in career and technical education programs. People see the demand is out there to have more students trained in skilled labor to help support the need across the state. And this is why this topic is such an important legislative priority for us.
If the salary cap is not addressed, we may not be able to send as many students to these valuable programs, which would be awful for our district, awful for our students, and as a whole, globally, to our community.
It's important that we build these CTE programs with more students to allow employers across the area to grow their companies, and CTE can provide that type of training and preparedness.
Things have changed remarkably over the last 30 years, especially when you look at talent and compensation structures. And so this really needs a lot of attention right now because we have a great need for expansion of our career and technical education. We can't do that without instructors. And so our legislature and our Senate really need to move on this issue.